Hello and welcome to Lovely English Stories. Thank you for stopping by. This story is written for upper intermediate English learners. Ready? Let's get started. B2 English Story. Finally found. Eleanor sat in her beautiful home, peering out of the window at the rain-drenched garden. Her shaky hands held an old photo, and her eyes were full of yearning. Over 50 years had passed, but she couldn't forget her lost love, Peter. She was a lively young lady when she met Peter, a charming pilot in the RAF, stationed nearby during World War II. Eleanor worked as a nurse in the village, and their paths crossed when he was brought in with a minor injury. His bright blue eyes and friendly smile instantly captured her heart. As the war raged on, Eleanor and Peter's love grew. They spent secret moments together in the village, their affection deepening each day. They would sit by the fire in her home, discussing their dreams, plans for the future, and the day the war would end. But the war was uncertain, and Peter's squadron was suddenly sent to an unknown place. He assured Eleanor he'd return soon, and with a heavy heart, he left. In those unpredictable times, it was impossible to know when or if he'd ever come back. Eleanor continued her work as a nurse, consoling wounded soldiers at the hospital. Days turned into months, and months into years. The war ended, but Peter was nowhere to be found. Her letters went unanswered, and the hope that once warmed her heart became a distant memory. Life went on, and Eleanor settled into a quiet, solitary existence. She observed the village change and new generations emerge. But the love she shared with Peter remained locked in a corner of her heart, untouched by time. Now, in her later years, Eleanor still missed Peter deeply. She never married or loved another. Her home was filled with memories of their time together. The photo, a letter he'd written, a silk handkerchief he'd given her, and a small bouquet of pressed wild flowers. As the rain continued to fall, Eleanor decided to visit the villagers' war memorial, a place she hadn't seen in years. She put on her old coat, grabbed her umbrella, and walked slowly through the village. The war memorial was a simple stone monument with the names of local heroes who never returned from the war. With effort, Eleanor bent down to place Peter's photo under the monument. She stood there for a moment, looking at the names on the stone. Tears welled up as she remembered the sacrifices made by many. As she turned to leave, Eleanor noticed a man nearby, his eyes fixed on the same monument. With a start, she realized the man looked like Peter, though older. The same blue eyes, the same warm smile, even the same dimple on his left cheek. Her heart leapt with hope. He turned to her as Eleanor's legs wobbled. She nearly fell, but he caught her. It was him. After all these years, he had returned. The love she thought was lost forever had come back to her. The village that once knew their love as a young couple would now witness a reunion that defied time. Eleanor and Peter embraced, tears of joy streaming down their faces, as they began a new chapter together in their later years. Their love, though long lost, had never vanished, and now it was finally found. Now, let's go through some of the vocabulary you have just read in this story. We'll start with the advanced English words. Defied, or to defy, means to resist, challenge, or go against something typically expected or established. Memorial. A memorial is a physical structure, event, or object created to honour and remember a person or a group of people, and is often for those who have passed away or experienced a significant event. Reunion. A reunion is an event or meeting where people who have often been separated for a long period of time come together again, typically resulting in joy and shared memories. Solitary. Solitary means being alone or living in isolation and without companionship or company. Embrace. To embrace means to accept or hold someone or something closely, usually in a warm and affectionate manner, like a hug. An embrace is a hug. Sacrifice. To sacrifice is to give something up which is valuable or important, and often for the greater good or to achieve a particular goal. Untouched. Untouched means not affected or altered, and remaining in its original condition or state. Now let's go through some of the intermediate vocabulary you have just read. Charming. Charming means delightful, attractive, or possessing a pleasing quality that captivates others. A person or a place can be charming. Generation. A generation is a group of people in a family or society, and it usually consists of parents, grandparents, great grandparents, and so on, who share a common heritage. Handkerchief. This is a small square of cloth carried in a pocket or purse and is used for wiping your nose or, in sadder times, dabbing your tears. Handkerchiefs aren't as popular these days. It tends to be older people that use them. Monument. A monument is a structure or statue which signifies a historical event. Now, this can also be seen as an advanced vocabulary too. If you ever visit the UK, you will see that there are many monuments around the country. Secret. A secret is something kept hidden or not shared with others. It is information that is only known to a select few people. Soldier. Soldier is a member of the military who serves in the armed forces. Could be the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the RAF. And they are often participating in combat and other duties. Suddenly. If something happens suddenly, it happens quickly and unexpectedly, and you won't have any prior warning or time to prepare. Tears. Tears are the drops of liquid that are produced by our eyes, usually when we are experiencing strong emotions, usually sadness, but sometimes people cry tears of joy too. Affection. Affection means warmth and fondness felt towards someone, and it's often expressed through gestures, words, or physical closeness, such as embracing, hugging someone. To emerge. To emerge is to come forth or become visible, and is often from a concealed or hidden state. For example, the dolphin emerged from the ocean. Injury. An injury is physical harm or damage to the body. For example, you might injure your arm if you fall off your bike. Instantly. If something happens instantly, it happens immediately and without delay. To observe. To observe is to watch, notice, or take in information about something through careful attention. Settle. To settle is to establish or make a home, often in a particular place, and to live there happy and contently. Unpredictable is the opposite of predictable, and it means to not be able to foresee or anticipate things, and is often characterized by a lack of regularity or pattern. A person can be unpredictable. Vanish. Vanished means to disappear suddenly or completely and become no longer visible or accessible. Witness. To witness is to see or observe an event, incident, or situation as it happens or unfolds. Wounded. Wounded. If someone is wounded, they are injured or harmed, and it's usually in a physical sense, as a result of an accident or conflict. We hope you enjoyed this lovely English story and the vocabulary explanations. Thank you for stopping by. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Get productive and check out our language learning productivity packs on Etsy. You can find the link in the description box below. Use code YouTube10 for 10% off. See you soon!